Someone today asked me, how do I beat my competition and how do I become better? For me personally, I've learned it the hard way, and it was a bit depressing after me sharing. Yeah, I shared my story in my previous video about how I was unemployed for the past 2 years after graduation. Because after graduation, I organized a very big function, and in fact, I didn't spend even a single coin. Is that I just invited people that I'm going to organize a graduation ceremony, and people started contributing. I never spent not even a single coin. So it was a very big event, and the expectations were high. And they were like, Brian, after you completing, we need to celebrate you. And they celebrated me. So my expectations were so high that I'm going to get employed immediately. But unfortunately, I sat home for 2 years looking for what to do, volunteering, because I consulted my previous lecturers. How can I get employed? And it was hell. They were like, you can't volunteer in any company. I went to company doors. I used to stop on Askaris who were so rude. And by chance, if I convince the Askari to let me in just to submit my papers, you never know. Maybe my lucky day. You reach at the receptionist, and the receptionist just tells you, no, you're in a wrong place. We don't want volunteers. What do you want from us? I have that confidence that once I can get those first 2 minutes to speak to someone, at least I can convince them and at least I get something. But unfortunately, it failed. I applied via LinkedIn and jobs were advertised, but I wasn't shortlisted. The ones that I was shortlisted, there were very few. So the only way that I got ahead is that I perfected the basics, because many people are not well versed with this idea of perfecting the basics. And in this, I mean that as a job, you have a job of, let me say, you work from 9 to 5. That job you're expected to go by 9, you are supposed to be already in office. But it's good courtesy on my side that I can arrive at least 2 hours before, or I can leave 1 hour late. Much as there will be the traffic, much as I may not find anyone in office, but that one shows that I'm a workaholic. You know what? Well, being a workaholic, it's branded as something bad, but to me, I look at that as showing some commitment. That person that you're working for, if he sees that you're putting in the work, you're putting in the effort, you're coming early, you're doing even beyond your scope of work. Because for me, I've just started working and it's less than a week. But today I felt so good and I smiled when my boss told me, today you have done well. To me, or to anyone else, or someone else may say, that one is something small. But to me, that was something so big, because I've worked for 4 days and today it was the fifth day. But to be appreciated that my work can be seen, my impact is being felt, that is something I felt that it was so great. So that was the mark that I left, or I have so far built. I've just started, I haven't finished any, like a month or two, or I've just started, but at least now I have hopes that I'm on the right track. So the way I beat my competition is that way. Basics, I go beyond the scope, because you don't need to be instructed to be told that you're supposed to do this, you have to hit this target. You can hit the target and still you're not an achiever. We have seen people who do a lot of things, but they feel that they are not adding any value to society. Because for me, when I joined this company, I was a bit skeptical, and I was like, what exactly is the scope of work? How am I going to handle? Will I manage? I had that self doubt, but I consoled myself and I said, no, I'm leaving home because there is that proverb, I'm leaving home to make home better. So that was my mission. And so far now, so far so good. So the basics, because those basics are always, those are the small things that we ignore. Because like coming early to work, someone may say that, if you're supposed to start at 9, I'll come towards 9. And it's okay. You have come before. But for me who has come an hour before, I'm going to interact with other people to show that I'm good at communication, I'm a team leader, and that's the time when you're going to test other skills that are even not on your CV. You'll be like, I love you, I love that person. Why? He is beyond, he beats the odds. So that will be the only way. And thank you so much. I think you have learned something or one or two. So have a good day.